Sportscaster and former pro football player Mike Golic is tackling his diabetes with a personalized game plan he is excited to share with others. Golic is one of more than 34 million people in the U.S. living with diabetes, a condition that can be a challenge to manage. Mike joins us now along with registered dietitian and certified diabetes care and education specialist Hope Warshar. Welcome, Mike and Hope.
Thank you. How are you?
Great. I'm doing good. And Mike, as a former pro football player and Super Bowl Sunday coming up, what is your prediction as to who will make it?
Oh, I think for the second time, and we've never gotten this right now, I think it's going to be 2 years in a row, is the team playing in their home stadium. Tampa did last year. I think LA is going to do it this year. I think they'll come out of the NFC, and then I know KC will be favored. Cincinnati already beat KC this year. I think the youngsters from Cincinnati can do it again. So I'm going to go LA, Cincinnati in the Super Bowl.
All right, believe it in the youngsters. And Mark, tell us about your game plan when it comes to diabetes.
Well, you know, you mentioned the 34 million people. I like to put things in terms of sports so people to visualize. 485 football stadiums filled with people. That's the amount of people that are dealing with type 2 diabetes. Along with myself. And I think one of the biggest things I learned was that even though there's a lot of us, they're all individual journeys. Like what works for me in my lifestyle may not work for somebody else. And that's what I had to do. It was a lifestyle change for me. I dealt with coaches and teammates all the time. Now my doctor's my coach and my wife and friends are my teammates. So it's a different group of people I'm relying on. And as I found, and as I said, dealing with it on an individual basis. I did some interviews with some other former athletes, Kyle Love in football and John Kruk in baseball, as part of the Talking Type U campaign, really got some great information from them on how they deal with their individual journey.
Oh, wow, that's great. And Hope, why is it important that people living with diabetes have a diabetes management plan that's more customized for them?
So as Mike mentioned, every person with diabetes and every aspect of their life is unique. So I encourage people to be open and honest with your healthcare providers about your life and what you need. That step can really ensure that someone has a game plan and a game plan that evolves over time that fits their life rather than vice versa.
And Hope, speaking of a game plan, do you have any tips on how a person with diabetes can create their own management plan?
I do. I have 3 essential tips. One is find and partner with healthcare providers who listen to you and get who you are and what you need to balance your diabetes care plan. 2 is to embrace technology that is designed to measure and track diabetes care. For example, using a digitally connected glucose meter or app where you input all of your data and then you can work with that data to analyze what's working well and what isn't working well and make changes to that. And third is to think about your health and wellness holistically.
That's good to know. And Mike, do you have a management plan? If so, what does it look like?
Well, what Hope said, you know, for me, one of the biggest changes I did is I did embrace technology, and I'm using it to help me right now. And it makes life a lot easier. One Touch Solutions has kind of a one-stop shop of customized programs for you. I can input, you know, from my One Touch glucose meter, my numbers into some of these programs to get feedback back. And also with Noom and Fitbit, you know, recipes and foods to eat and how's my exercise going, where are my steps, where's my hydration intake, and I can have live chats with people like Hope to answer questions that I may have. So that's been the biggest change for me. I've changed my lifestyle, but it keeps evolving. As technology gets better, heck, we should be using it.
Yeah, I think having those resources available definitely makes it helpful. Mike and Hope, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we'll check in on those game day predictions you have, Mike. For more information on starting your own game plan, visit talkingtypeu.com.